No, I am not losing again. I will never enter a casino again.
You know, I've been seeing these strange photos popping up all over social media lately, pictures of Las Vegas casinos that are just eerily empty. And these hashtags like Las Vegas is dead are trending. It's such a stark contrast to the city we all imagine, that nonstop buzz and glitz.
Right, and the immediate, easy answer everyone's reaching for is the economy. You hear about inflation, less disposable income, and even the CEO of Caesars predicted a soft summer. That all makes sense on the surface.
It does. I mean, tourist numbers are down, hotel occupancy has dipped. It seems like a pretty open and shut case of economic blues.
Well, that's the convenient narrative, but what's really fascinating and frankly a bit disturbing is the undercurrent. This isn't just about people having less money to spend. There's a growing sense that this is a quiet rebellion, a collective awakening among gamblers against something much more sinister than just bad luck. A phrase is starting to bubble up: gray control.
Gray control? That sounds like something straight out of a spy thriller. What on earth does that mean in a casino? I always just assumed the house wins because of, basic probability.
That's the old model. The house always having a slight mathematical edge was the foundation. But gray control is a different beast entirely. It's not about traditional cheating, but a sophisticated, high-tech manipulation that's shaking the very foundation of trust in Vegas. It suggests the empty casinos aren't just an economic symptom, but a silent protest.
So you're saying this goes way beyond the balance sheets and into the actual mechanics of the games themselves. This makes me rethink everything. Let's peel back the layers. What is the technology that makes this gray control even possible?
It's essentially an invisible network, a digital nervous system running underneath the entire casino floor. The source material we looked at points to two key technologies that are already in play: RFID chips embedded in every single playing card and betting chip, and smart dealing shoes that have high-speed cameras inside them.
So the cards and chips I'm holding, which look and feel completely normal, are actually tracking devices?
Exactly. Every card has a unique digital ID. The smart shoe scans the card suit and value the second it's dealt. All this data, every card, every chip, every bet, is instantly fed into a central system, creating what can only be described as a real-time digital twin of the entire gaming floor.
A digital twin. That's a powerful phrase. What does that actually give the casino?
It gives them a godlike perspective. Think about it. While you're sitting at the table trying to calculate your odds, the casino knows every card in play, every bet being made, and they can analyze it all instantly. It fundamentally changes the game from one of chance into a battle of asymmetric information, where one side is practically omniscient.
That's shocking. So the old idea that casinos win over the long haul because of a small probability edge is obsolete? This digital twin sounds like they've found a way to leapfrog probability altogether.
It's an entirely new profit dimension. They've moved beyond just relying on the law of large numbers. They can now see everything in real time and even use that data to predict player moves. The game is no longer just you against the odds, it's you completely blind against an all-seeing digital fortress.
So if that's the infrastructure, the digital twin providing this God's eye view, how is it actually used to manipulate the game? Where does the control part of gray control come in?
That's where the casino's digital brain artificial intelligence takes over. The AI doesn't just track your bets, it creates a detailed behavioral fingerprint for every player. It analyzes your betting frequency, how your bets change, your pace, even your subtle emotional responses after a win or a loss. This data then fuels what the source calls a threefold manipulation.
Okay, break that down for me. What are the three parts?
First is the algorithmic black box. These are hidden algorithms that can subtly adjust things like payout rates or card probabilities, especially if you start to go on a winning streak. To you, it just feels like your luck suddenly turns sour. Second is rule embedding burying clauses that favor the house deep in the fine print. And the third, the most disturbing part is psychological intervention.
Psychological intervention? That sounds deeply manipulative.
It is. The AI can identify your player type. For instance, it might spot a cautious player and let them win a few small hands to build their confidence. Once you start betting bigger, feeling good about yourself, the algorithm subtly tightens the screws and begins to erode your money. You're not just having a bad run, you've been led into a carefully constructed mathematical and psychological trap.
It's terrifying to think that the system is learning my emotional state. And you mentioned vulnerability algorithms. Does this mean the system can actually change the game in real time or even get humans involved?
Absolutely. The system can dynamically adjust table minimums to price you out or change a slot machine's payout rate if you're doing too well. And it can trigger what's called precision human intervention. The AI might alert a floor manager's earpiece with an instruction like, table 7, seat 3 is on a winning streak. Go create a distraction, so that friendly manager who comes over to chat you up might not be friendly at all. They're an instrument of the algorithm.
So every smile, every comped drink, every seemingly random interaction could be a coldly calculated move orchestrated by an AI. So it's a system that's legally disguised but designed to manipulate. How can a player even begin to suspect something is wrong, let alone prove it?
That's the insidious genius of it. It's not cheating in the old-fashioned sense, like a dealer hiding a card up their sleeve. It operates in the legal and ethical gray areas. To draw an analogy, it's like you're in a boxing match, but your opponent is invisible, can read your mind, and can change the size of the ring at will. You just know you're losing, but you can't even figure out where the punches are coming from.
And this is what's driving that crisis of trust. People aren't just feeling unlucky anymore. Those Vegas is dead posts are starting to look like a form of silent protest from gamblers who feel the game is rigged.
Precisely. It's a collective awakening. Gamblers are talking on forums like Reddit, sharing experiences, saying the casinos are getting too greedy and killing the golden goose. When players feel that the fundamental consensus of fairness is broken, they simply stop playing. They're voting with their feet. The collapse of trust is the real crisis eroding Las Vegas far more than any economic dip.
And that must have a devastating human cost. It's one thing to lose money because you made a bad bet. It's another to lose it because you feel you were systematically targeted and manipulated. I imagine that could make something like a gambling addiction even harder to escape.
It absolutely fuels the addiction cycle. Instead of accepting a loss as bad luck, the player feels cheated. They feel a desperate need to win back money they believe was unfairly stolen from them, which just pulls them deeper into the hole. We're talking about lives that are financially and emotionally destroyed, not by chance, but by a calculated system.
So, looking beyond the strip, what does this crisis in Las Vegas signal for the rest of us, for any industry that's driven by data and algorithms?
It's a huge warning shot. This trust crisis, triggered by high-tech gray control, highlights a critical danger. When we give algorithms the power to operate in a black box, optimized only for profit, they can easily become weapons of deprivation. It forces us to ask what ethical boundaries we need to set for this technology before trust itself becomes the scarcest resource of all.
It seems the whole situation is a perfect storm. There's real economic pressure, yes, but it's the technological overreach, this crisis of trust caused by gray control, that's the deeper, more destructive force. It's no longer just about mathematical probability. It's a sophisticated, invisible system designed to manipulate.
Exactly. The core issue is that gamblers are collectively realizing this and refusing to participate in what they perceive as an unfair system. This is forcing a reckoning not just for Vegas, but for any industry that relies on a foundation of trust. They are demanding a return to fairness and transparency.
The Las Vegas dilemma serves as a stark wake-up call for all algorithm-driven industries. When technology designed for efficiency is instead deployed to secretly manipulate and exploit human vulnerabilities, it ceases to be an enabler and becomes a weapon of deprivation. This battle over transparency and trust isn't confined to the gaming floor. It poses a profound challenge to our digital age. It compels us to confront whether we are truly enjoying the benefits of technological advancement or unwittingly becoming pawns in its hidden games, ultimately sacrificing human agency and dignity for an algorithm's optimal solution.